Hello everyone, this is Dino Don again. This is going to be a update on my Aqua Blast cabinet. As you can see, I had to pull the pump out of it because the bearings had gotten the glass media in it. I had just got new media in it, used it for one day and it worked great. Tried to use it the next day and the motor wouldn't start, just hummed. Took it apart and the bearings were packed with glass beads because they got up in past the seals. Now, this is the old motor assembly. There's two small seals right there. That's the only thing that's keeping the glass from getting up through there. And then the bearing is right there. That's a new bearing. The reason it's taking me so long to put a video up is because last weekend I reworked this whole project here to take the motor out. I took the stator windings out of this thing. And to get them out, I had to cut a slot to get the tension off it, pull it out, change that bearing, and then welded it back up. So what happens is, this is the upper cap, where the upper bearing is, and this hole is where the electrical wires go down in for the stator, and then the armature of course goes in. So what I did is I just took the armature completely out of the project, and then this goes back together like so. And then this went over top of this. But that goes in there and only goes so far and stops. And that goes in there. And then you had an O-ring. I'm not sure, can't remember if the O-ring went in here or what. But then you got this piece here. Goes in there and screws all together. And then this is just a spacer that goes in like that. And then that sets in the bottom of the tin housing. So that was the thing. So I put this all back together like so. Thought I had it sealed up. Tried to use it, and the water comes up through here easily, but it shouldn't get past this spot in here, you know, when this is all together in here. But the water came all the way up around everything, shot out the top of these holes, and as soon as it comes out these holes, pretty much know that it's going to get right back down inside into here, into the bearings. So that shit didn't work. So what you need to keep that thing sealed up, so I decided to go to an external pump motor to keep the motor out of the water. I don't know if it's the temperature in here that doesn't like to keep this thing focused. Alright, so what I ended up doing this past weekend is building this assembly right here. What I got is just a piece of stainless steel tubing, and then I made a steel bushing to go in here, bored it out for a new 1/2 inch ID bearing. It was 1 1/8 OD, 3/8 inch wide bearing. It's like a R8 2RS or something like that. It's a double seal bearing. This is a piece of 1/2 inch stainless steel for the shaft. And then down here I did the same thing, but this bushing down here is a lot bigger because the bearing's up here, and then there's a 1 inch pocket down here for the female part or the ceramic part of a mechanical seal. If you're not familiar with a mechanical seal, it's a ceramic, basically like a ceramic bushing with a rubber cup around the outside of it. And then when you press it in, the rubber seals it. So that ceramic piece gets sealed inside of this steel bushing here that's welded into this tube. So, and then you have this piece here that the spring is going over. That little piece of that shiny stainless piece has a carbon seal on it. It's a hard carbon seal that pushes up hard against that ceramic seal. And then the spring has a little pocket and everything back here that sets on the pump. So this is all under preload. What this does is this piece pushes up against there. So the water, in order to get into here, has to either go between the shaft and this seal here. And that seal is extremely tight. I had a hard time just getting that pushed over on there. Just a little bit of oil to lubricate it to get it on. And then it pushes all the way up and sets the carbon part of this side, sets up to the ceramic part on this side, and then the spring keeps tension on it. And then the spring pushes up against the impeller here. So that's what it is. That is what you call a mechanical seal. This one is a 1/2 inch. It's a 1/2 inch ID. and the OD was like 1 inch exactly for the OD for the ceramic part. But you basically got the ceramic piece with the rubber gasket all the way around the sides and the back. And then you got this seal here with this piece, and then you got the inner rubber seal, the spring, and then a little cap here to retain the spring to keep it from eating into a backer washer I have on there. So let me, and then see and then in the bearings there's snap rings. There's a snap ring underneath on the top edge and one underneath, and then there's a snap ring on the shaft on each end to keep the bearings pushed out tight. And then you just got your typical seal here, or excuse me, your coupling, rubber coupling. And then as you can see, I took and welded a tab on here in order to bolt this whole assembly together so it won't move. And then I took and made this piece of steel angle bracket and bolted it to the motor base plate. It's got 1/4 inch hole in it, which will come right up here, and it bolts right into this. That's why there's a slight arc on this to match up here. So let me go ahead and show you how this thing runs before I put it together. Got to get my pedal here to actuate it. That's a 3450 RPM, and I have not tried this yet. I tried that one, and it pushed plenty of water because it was just blowing water like a geyser out of the top of that thing. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here so I can put this back on it. Oh, and then on this piece, I took and drilled 2 1/2 inch holes, 180 degrees apart from each other. And as you can see, I put a 1/2 inch rod in there and I bent it. The idea is when this thing's pumping, I want to try and catch some of the water and blow it down into the media to help mix it up. Because now with this thing on here, this sets up right tight up against the inside of the housing. So let me go ahead and just put these 6 screws in, put the hose back on, throw it in, hook it up, and we'll see if the thing works. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright everybody, back together. Took me less than 5 minutes. All there is just those 6 screws on the bottom, and then plug the hose back in and bolt it down here so you can see how it's mounted. Still got plenty of clearance in here to the cabinet. The drain will still drain in. Alright, let's see what happens. Lights on. Let me open this up. Alright. Now I did turn the water on. So, but probably make a mess. Oops, sorry. Trying to see what I'm doing down here. Alright, let me just stick that back in the corner like that, because it starts blasting. Let's see what I'll hold it up here while I step on the pedal, and we'll see what happens down here. Here we go, folks. First time. Wow, makes a lot of noise, doesn't it? It's spinning good. Trying to see where that water's splashing out of. Oh, okay, it's just splashing from way down there. See it? Like we got a leak on that hose. Go ahead, babe, put some. Alright, so I'll have to take care of that. But for the most part, it's working. You don't want to see water coming out of the top of there. Yeah, that water's kind of shooting clear up. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Wait for that compressor to turn off. Come on, camera. There we go. Damn focus. It's got to be the lighting in here. Alright, let's see where we're coming out of. She got no problem mixing, that's for damn sure. I just got to get rid of the spray from that hose somewhere. Alright. God damn this thing. Focus. Must be the... Give me a second here to wipe this lens. Yeah, maybe I'll set in the focus. For now, I'll have to just go from there. But it seems to be working. Cannot believe this damn camera will not focus. It pissed me off. I think this has a... But anyway, folks, that's what I got. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Probably go ahead and get some dinner. Come back out and see if I can find out where that's leaking. That hose does screw on down there, and there is an O-ring around it. I don't think it's my holes I put in the thing, because I got those, tried to angle them so they're blowing downward. This is, looks like it's coming out of the bottom of the hose, so, but it's definitely working. It's got plenty of blast. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. Maybe when I come back out and see if I can fix that little leak or do something to keep the water from splashing out for now. I've got a distributor body in here that I was trying to blast. Right there. I was trying to blast that. I was going to blast it when I had that done, and then that just blew way too much water up. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video right here. Like I said, I'll be back out after I try to fix this. Alright, see. Alright everybody, change of plans. I was going to pull the pump out. I took another look at it after I shut the camera off. And here where it is that 6-inch flange on the bottom of my assembly I made that screws down to the base. It was shooting out through there, hitting the hose and deflecting up and out. So I was going to pull it out of there. 2 of the screws in that are semi-stripped and it's not tighten, so it's not sealing very good. But I just thought, wait a minute, this thing's probably lost water from the months it's been here. So I came out and I dumped in a bucket of water. Alright, so it's now I haven't done anything just but add water to it. And that's what I got. So, I'll pull that out later and make the repairs, but I need to find some larger screws, or I may just use some of my rib nuts if I have any left. I've mentioned rib nuts before. Here's the gun. Yeah, here's the rib nuts. So I may have, these may be, I need 6 of them. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that batch. But these are like rivets, pop rivets. You put them in a hole, screw that tool, screw it onto the tool here. This thing, you open it up. There, like so. Screw it onto there. Put the right stud in. Each one has a different size stud. Take the stud out, change it out. And then when you put the rib nut in there and pull the handle, see how that squeezes like a pop rivet. So this thing will squeeze like a pop rivet. And then you unscrew it, and then you got yourself a threaded hole now. So I'll see if these are a little overkill. But really what I need is a slightly thicker gasket. As you can see from this old piece here, there's a lip on this, but even that, it would hit right back here. There's a rolled edge sticking up on that base, and the gasket's really not thick enough even for this thing. So, alright, let me see if I can't set this up so you can see what I'm doing in the cabinet. Let me get this space off of here real quick. I'm going to see if you can see what I'm doing when I'm blasting inside. Cab's kind of foggy. I can see it, but it's... let me wipe this side off. It may or may not show you, but I just want to do a little bit of blasting on this part so you can see how it looks, and clean that glass there off on the side. Somewhat. Even me doing this, I'll blast it. I'll hit it with the water. I want to see if you can see what I'm doing in there. I can keep this thing. Alright, I'll hit that door over there with the water when I start it. See what happens. Let me flip my viewer out so I can see if I'm catching anything. And then moving these hoses around. The hoses just might get back in the way again. Alright, let's see. Alright, here we go. Guess it's not too bad. Let's give this a quick shot. Quick little blast. Show you what we got. Just kind of blasted around there. That's what it looked like before. The thing really works quick when you got fresh media. I'm going to throw back in this one so you see how filthy that is there. Just a little bit of grease, oil. Go ahead and another little quick blast. off so you guys can hear me again. The problem is I actually use warm water and it's still kind of cool out here. That's basically warm water and vapor. Alright, you see how long I hit that. Problem is I got my light down here is out. It's not working. So I don't have as much visibility as I need. It's getting hard to see in there, but so I can't really see where all the dirt is. You can see just how quickly I ran over that. Only because I can't see, I can't see them nooks and crannies in there. Come on, compressor. But all that'll come out in no time. I just got to be able to see what I'm doing. So, I mean, it does put a really nice finish. Get under some better lighting. It does put a really nice finish on the parts. I'll finish this up right tomorrow. I need to get this light out right here. See what it's cheap LED lights I've got on eBay, but when they're both on, you can see a lot in there. Here's my power. This here little button actuates this solenoid. It will hook up to a garden hose, and then I got a spray nozzle here that'll spray across and wet that down with fresh water. This is on a timer. There it goes. Here the solenoid click, on off. So that's what I got, folks. Back in business. And now I didn't see anything blasting out of there, so I can fix that other thing. I mean, that'll help agitate it, because you're only sending a very small amount of the water through this thing that pump can generate. So it puts out a lot of pressure just on the pump. Stupid thing. There we go. But I'll finish that up tomorrow. But I wanted to go ahead and get this done so you guys see that I'm not sitting on my hands all this time trying to get something done. So once I get this done and run, it's done. There's a couple little fixes here and there. I need to get my fan assembly built for this and get the motor all hooked up and see if this thing's going to work right. But the ultimate goal is to get back on this. So after I get this thing up and done, I need that to clean parts for this. Some of these parts that I clean up, I've already basically soaked them in acid and stripped all the main rust off of them, but I need to clean them again. May hit them with the dry blast and then put them in the Aqua blaster, clean those up, and then I'll get those powder coated. I'll probably do those in a satin black, and even these spindles I'm going to powder coat everything except for the polished areas. Alright folks, so that's going to do it for this week's update. Let me unhook this air hose. I have to redo this hose back here. It's not the easiest to get to. Now we don't want the pump kicking on all night. But that's it for my update, folks, on fixing this thing. From that to that. So now this should never, as long as the water ain't blasting up out of there, you'll never get any water in there. And well, sorry folks, for some reason the recording stopped. I might be getting low on storage area, down to 2 minutes 4 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and cut her off here, get this thing tidied up, and I'll get back to you next weekend. You should be seeing this thing up and running. So for now, that's going to do it for this week's update. Appreciate again everyone taking the time to watch my videos, and like always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, and thanks for dropping in. I'll try and catch you guys hopefully in either next weekend, probably next weekend at the latest. All right, so for now, this is Down and Don out.